And Rymel is underway straight away, running one down backward of point, and they go through for a single. On the sartorial front, Glamorgan as ever in their yellow and blue shirts, blue trousers, dark blue.
Kerry bowls again, overcompensates, 4 runs here as it's flayed through the covers by Cooke to getting Josh Rymel out, but Rymel has a riposte here, 4 runs through the covers, ball just slightly over pitched and on off stump. And
Hogan then right arm over to left-handed Cooke, who pulls this one away for 4 runs over square leg. Hogan for once pitching a little bit
and bowls to Cooke, still a slip in, and Cooke plays this off the back foot, well timed, third man unable to cut it off, chasing round the boundary towards point. Kerry bowls again to Cooke, and Cooke slashes this, and that's 4 all the way. And Cooke has, as I say, he's 2 or 3 times played some rather poor shots. As Kerry bowls and Cooke hits this up his sleeve, but he's got it away into an offside gap to deep extra cover for 4. He wasn't totally over that one. Who comes in from the Cathedral Road and bowls and 4 runs, and that was just dropped in a little bit short, but beautifully flayed away by Rymel there. He gets a boundary.
Rymel gets a half volley, which is going to get 4. Lovely shot, and Carlson at mid-off knew it was going to beat him. In comes Cooke again, and this time he's too short and cut away, and that's going to be 4 runs. Kerry is about 10 yards away from it, but you cannot afford, Mike. Comes Cooke, bowls again, and that's pitched up beautifully, driven for 4 more. That was a glorious shot.
Yeah, Paul, that's your points. They completely.
And Eddie Bevan, delighted to hear Eddie, as this ball is lofted away for, I was going to say a 1 bounce 4, but it plugs a little bit on landing. It pitches about.
Who wilts that one down to fine leg for 4 runs, just fine of the man up in the circle, Billy Root. And that one was
Rheingold into the attack from the River Tap end, and short and outside off stump, chase round the boundary, unavailing though, and that is 4 runs to Alistair Cooke, just dropped in a little bit short and wide, and applause for Alistair Cooke's 50.
Dive forward. That's attempted stumping. It is a stumping, and Sir Alistair Cooke has gone down leg side. Rheingold fired it wide given, but superb work as Cooke bowls, and Rymel sliced that one. Is going to be caught. Salter running backwards at point, and
bring you in on that after this ball, which Wesley has hit this, and he's caught, and he came forward and drove it in. And he's hit this one, that's probably going to go for 6, and does do.
Thanks. Salter bowls, and Cooke goes the big one, and he's nailed it. Big 6.
Brilliant shot.
Salter to Cooke, who is caught at the wicket at the 2nd attempt by Tom Cullen.
Bowls, and he's out, caught behind, and
as Joe Cooke is in to bowl, that's swung away towards square leg. It should be out. Wheater has holed out on the square leg boundary for a brief but effective 16.
River Tap end, Paul Walter on 49. I was saying he very seldom gets to a 50. He's done it here, and it's been a very good knock as well. And his has been vital actually for Essex today. 263 for 6. Kerry bowls to Walter. Oh, and this has gone a mile up in the air. Surely this one will be caught and bowled, and is. And that is the end of Walter, who eschewed the advice of Mike Powell there to his cost.
Covers, that one is driven uppishly and out. Nijar has gone for 2.
Play too ambitiously, too early, as Hogan comes in and bowls to Allison, who's hit this up in the air. It should be an easy catch, and is. Just Jack Plum to come as Allison departs, caught at mid-wicket off the bowling of the excellent Hogan.
Simon Harmer on strike, the more experienced man, hits him into the grandstand for 6. That is 2/3 the way up the grandstand.
That's one of the biggest I've seen on this ground here. That is huge.
If it had been inside the lines, that one is a low full toss, hit up towards long on. Man underneath it, Rheingold takes the catch. And Joe Cooke finishes with a 5 first. Simon Harmer has gone for 21, and Essex are all out for 289.
from that far end and bowls to Selman, and that's a lovely clip for 4 by Selman. Anything pitched on all around, as you said earlier. About in comes Allison and bowls the first ball with a lovely shot, beautiful shot. He just leant on that, did Selman, no leg side on that, he just pushed it out.
Plum bowls to him again. And that's over pitch, and there is a crackerjack of a shot. Superb extra cover drive.
In comes Allison and bowls, and that's, oh my word, that's gone miles up to Cow Corner, and it's out of the ground.
Yeah, that is all the way out the ground.
That's out to the ground near the scoreboard.
Plum is in bowls, and this ball's lofted over the outfield and for 4 runs over the extra cover boundary by Hamish Rutherford. Plum is in bowls, and this ball is hit for 6, and with the absolute minimum of effort.
Here he is again, round the wicket and bowls, and this time, that's half a dozen more. What an over that is.
Nijjar is in bowls, and this ball's gone a long way up in the air. It's going to land safely, and they're going to be able to come back for 2 runs there, but that was off the outside edge. As Rutherford reaches a very fine and dramatic 50.
29 balls.
But the least convincing shot of his 50 was that one.
The best bowler to Rutherford, the best batsman, and he comes, he's gone round the wicket and bowls, and down the pitch he comes. And that could be out at long on. It's up in the air and taken at long on, and that is the end.
Harmer bowls. Carlson comes down the wicket and hammers him over long off for 6 into the 6th row. Wesley bowls, and Carlson is brilliantly caught at backwards point by a diving Josh Rymel to add to his contribution with the bat. He's taken a fine catch, and Essex have their 2nd wicket.
And this next ball is caught at point, and Root departs, and the moment he'd hit it, he sort of gasped in horror at what he'd done. And that is, I'm not saying it was a poor delivery in the least, but it's really a rather cheap wicket. Tender Scarter's in. Bowls, and ball's pushed into the offside, and there is another run, and that is Selman's 50, hence the applause. Fine effort, never really looked in any trouble at all. Bowling to Steve Reingold. And that has bowled him, and Reingold had an enormous yahoo at that. It kept very low, there's no doubt about that, but I also think he took his eye off it, and not a wise idea.
Get in too much of a tangle. Take us away, Paul.
And this is appeal for catch, and he's out, and that is the end of Selman, and it's 182 for 5 as he goes caught behind for 59. He doesn't want to go.
Round the wicket again comes Plum, bowls short, very short, that's 4. And Glamorgan at the moment look as if they're going to win it with something to spare.
Harmer bowls to Joe Cooke, who finishes it in style with a huge 6 as the ball goes soaring out of the ground, and Glamorgan are there with 2 overs to spare by 5 wickets. They've beaten Essex, and Glamorgan are in their first one-day final since 2013.